What's going on, y'all? In this video, Financial Basics 101 with Young CT. So, with this financial shit, with all of this life shit, I gotta break it down at the absolute root of the issue. So when it comes to money, just know it's a choice to participate. It's a choice to get cash. It's a choice to choose to have bills and be responsible for paying those bills. It's an absolute choice. So you see people that drop out of the society and they choose to do what? Go be homeless. They choose to fucking set up a tent. They choose to move to LA or San Francisco, Seattle, Portland, anywhere where it's warm, anywhere where you can set up good under a fucking bridge, find you a community, go to a community center, live off some government assistance. Oh yeah, America got you. America got your back, because that's one thing about America. We all realize that this whole system, at least those that choose to see it clearly, it's a choice. And those that don't participate and move fast and move quick and adapt, they slowly fall to the bottom of the line. They slowly fall to the bottom of the hierarchy. So at the very least, at least it's government centers and food centers and shit where homeless people can get a lot of assistance and aid in this country. So that's something that y'all need to know. It's an absolute choice. So what's the first step into financial literacy, into what you should do with your money that you earning? Get you a car. Get you an absolute motherfucking car. As you see, I'm in mine right now. Your car doubles as your home. If you ever fall on super hard times, if you get kicked out of where you stand, if you fall out with somebody, if you break up with somebody, if you gotta sleep in your car to fucking do an overnight shift at a job, then go to another job, if you gotta sleep in your car for any reason, then yes, your car is your home. So that's what you want to invest in first, is getting you a car. Now, the tricky thing with a car is that you could get a super reliable and super good car and then end up having to pay a car note. And then that shit really, if we being honest, is damn near a rent payment and should be your rent payment. There's no way that you make it a lot harder and put a huge obstacle on yourself if you choose to pay rent and pay a car payment and then have kids and then do all of the other shit in life. It gets that deep and it gets that real, and a lot of y'all may be in that situation. So first and foremost, if you need a car, that's the basis. And actually, it's something that goes before getting a car as to what you should do when you invest your money. And that's getting some motherfucking weaponry, getting some PPE, getting you a knife, a taser, brass knuckles, a gun, some mace, just something to protect yourself. Whether you catching Ubers, taking a bus, walking, or you got a car, you need to arm yourself. You need to have your shit like Rick and his spaceship. Have you a knife on the side of your driver's seat, have you some mace in the goddamn glove compartment, have you a gun in your bag. Be careful with that, depending on where you go, depending on how you use it, depending on how you wield. Put that motherfucking disclaimer out there when you carrying a firearm. But everything else is damn near fair game as to where you can get it in, as to how you can move a lot more protected and secure in this reality. So that's the first thing you do with your money, is invest in some weaponry. Number two, get you a car. Get you a motherfucking whip. You gotta invest at least $4,000 into a car. And I promise y'all, the car note is very tricky. Unless you gonna live with your parents or stay with somebody that can provide a roof for you, and then you definitely subsidize them with a little bit of money, pay them a little bit on the side, especially if they ain't charging you for rent. But then it may be okay to get a car note because the car is so reliable, because you can actually drive across the country with a good car if you ain't having to pay rent and worry about that shit too. If you ain't rooted and based and fucking pinned to an apartment or a house, paying a mortgage, paying rent. It's only one substance or one instance where getting the car note is actually in your best benefit, and that's if you living with somebody. So that's number one. But if you're not living with nobody and you need a car, then, or if you want to just make the super smart financial decision, then just invest about $3,000 into a car. Then you got you some wheels, you got you some transportation. That's the second base root thing to do in this financial system if you don't choose to play and participate in it. Number one is get you some PPE, personal protective equipment, knife, taser, gun, brass knuckle, fucking sword, fucking nunchucks, motherfucking bat, motherfucking goddamn, what do the police officers use? A nightstick? Man, just get right and stay right. You must protect yourself. You must be ready to defend yourself. You must be ready to run. You must be ready to jump. So then that's probably first and foremost what you invest your energy in. Because yeah, if you want your finances to be good, if you want to make money, you're going to have energy to be able to do it. So definitely when it starts with your physical, stretch and run. That's it. And drink water. That's the basis to starting your physical journey. Stretch, run, cardio, and drink water. Then start doing push-ups, sit-ups, and working out. Then, of course, you need that to be able to work and make money. So, yes, depending on what job you got, you can go on Indeed. You can go on any app on your phone. As long as you got your social security number, don't be afraid to quit a job either. Don't be afraid to move on. Like I said before, make sure the job that you have is in alignment. So you start with one job. You start with getting a cool, comfortable job that is actually like good for you. Now, a lot of y'all choose to work the gig economy jobs. That's not for me. I'd rather go somewhere, clock in, have a comfortable work environment. I ain't got to do too much. I can be on my phone. I can have music playing. I don't need people on my back. Or it's a good environment of socializing and adapting. It's something I can learn from. All right, so that's that. Get you a job, find you something quick, something good. And then you could also get you a trade. It's so many motherfucking routes. But I want to tell you the opposite side of a trade, which is what I tend to fall into, and that's passion and purpose. When you have passion and purpose, that shit just builds up your energy, builds up your love, your joy for life, makes you more patient. It just makes everything better when you have an absolute passion and purpose, some art, something you creating, something you working on, something that is just bigger than you, that's going to expand beyond you to other people. And it's just a lifelong goal that you striving for and pursuing. And then that's where you don't even want to invest your time into a trade, because you could just be investing your time into your purpose. Of course, that comes with a lot more faith. It comes with a lot more just mental strength and just staying down and not giving a fuck what the rest of the world think or say about you and what you should be doing. Oh, you need to go get your trucking license. You need to be a plumber. You should be doing this. You should be getting a trade. You should be doing this. You should be starting this business. Nah, if you got your passion and your purpose and that fire inside, then that shit can keep you going, because it's spiritual, y'all. All of this shit is spiritual. Everybody gonna have an opinion on what you should be doing. Remember, the two root bases of it all, you want to get you some PPE, some goddamn weaponry, then get you a car. Rather you paying a car note, do that if you living with somebody. Don't do it if you living on your own, or if you plan to be living on your own very soon. Just don't care about people's opinion on your whip. Don't care about people's opinion or thoughts on the material aspect of your life, because that's just the big financial trap. When you caught up in opinions of how other people perceiving you and what you riding with, how your clothes look, that's just gonna keep you in a rat race and keep you buying more shit, keep you in an expensive car. Now, I'm well aware that car notes and all of that shit is expensive modern day, and a lot of people is in them. A lot of y'all got modern day cars, 2020s, 2018s and above, all of that shit. And then you choosing to pay $600, $500, $700, possibly more for a car note. So that's something that you really need to damn near think about trading it in and getting it cheaper, because that's gonna be one of them main expenses that's gonna keep you from saving money and then building more wealth. Because let's go with the main steps of that, building wealth. You make money first and foremost, then you save money, cut your expenses, then you invest the difference. Investing your money is what's gonna get you to have the equipment that you need, get you to invest in stocks, invest in crypto, invest in whatever it is that's gonna build up your empire, be able to save money or be able to sell something. All of them type things, y'all, all of them type things. So, yes, save your money. That's first and foremost. You must do that, because ask any old person that's retired or not working no more, they're gonna say, save you some money. Just make sure you got some money when you get my age. Goddamn, it get hard out here. Then make more money. So that's the other thing, y'all. You're gonna have to work more hours. You may have to get a second job. You may have to absolutely grind and get in that mode and do it while you young. Do it while you young. Let me just make that shit extremely clear. You 22, 23, 21, 20 years old, 18, man, work them 2 jobs now. Work them 60 hours now. Save that money and just also pursue and find your passion if you don't want to worry about a trade or some career path, because you can make it happen. You don't have to fall into the whole societal route of what everyone else is saying to do, how you should live your life, what career you should go down, how you should do this, how you should do that. Nah, if you got money and if you got a brain and if you got a fucking career, a pursuit, a passion of what you want to do, what you want to become, your art. We all living in the internet age, and now we got AI to make shit even easier. I've been making my thumbnails with AI. Shit make it so much easier. Goddamn. But find your passion, find your purpose, and then you don't have to worry about a trade or becoming some businessman or fucking doing some shit that's just deep in the matrix and you know is not in your heart that you want to do. Who the fuck really want to be a plumber or electrician? Now, I get it. You can't end up owning your own business and be a barber, end up owning a barber shop, tattoo artist, end up owning a tattoo shop. It's a lot of shit that you could do, that you could just do for some money, or you could really like, if it's art, if it's tattooing, or if it's being an audio engineer, a producer, end up owning a studio, owning a fucking plumber business, owning a moving company, owning a car washing business. It's so many things out here, but goddamn, me personally, I wouldn't trade it for the purpose and the passion, but that's a solo path. That's gonna be you. That's not gonna be accepted and liked by all people, and you gotta be okay with that. So that's the split between the trade and owning a business, or just going the route that there's just many different routes out here to just choose from. Or you can choose your own route, which is your purpose, your path, your soul's mission, your heart, your own creativity, your artistry. And again, that's what I tend to fall into. So that's what I'm gonna promote a little bit more. But do what you gonna do. Do what the fuck are you gonna do? But yeah, y'all, financial literacy, basics. These is the absolute basics. So when it comes to finding you an apartment, finding you somewhere to live, stay in a rent textile of $1,500 and under, especially if you're making $50,000 and under. If you're making $40,000 and under, $30,000 and under, then you really want to think about getting you an $800 studio apartment, because I know that's damn near the cheapest that you can find anywhere out here. If you want to go in the hood and live in the projects, get you $500, $400 and possibly even cheaper. Get on some Social Security shit, get on some this, some that, some real government assistance, and just do whatever the fuck you need to do to live and survive in this world. But if you gonna choose to participate in this control society, if you're not gonna go out and live in a tent, if you're not gonna fucking live in your car, which you still gotta put gas in, goddamn, they make it fucking hard for you to be free. But the people that are homeless and out, they really are the ones that are free. Living in this society, no. We is choosing our captivity. We is choosing our comfortable, luxurious slavery. And that's just what it is in America. So yeah, y'all, finding that apartment, paying that rent. Yeah, you want to keep that shit $1,500 and under, because the higher your rent payment, just look at it like this. The more money that you got to spend because you didn't cut your expenses, or you didn't just be disciplined, you didn't forego the imagery of what you need your life to look like, then you not being able to save money, then you're not being able to invest, then you just keep, the years just go by and you in the rat race, and you maybe got pits that's just deeper and deeper for you to get out. Don't even worry about debt, because debt is kind of just like some fear shit that they hover over you. Now you gonna have monthly payments, and that's like immediate debt. But if you got some college loans, if you got some credit card debt, then don't even worry about that shit. But goddamn, some of y'all got kids. Oh my God, it's so much to stay focused on. There's so many reasons to stay powerful. There's so many reasons to stay smart. And that's ultimately what I want to help y'all with, is by giving y'all perspective, giving y'all shit to armor yourself with, no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing. All right, man. Goddamn. Finding that apartment. Once you get your apartment, then you gotta upkeep it. Then you really locked into a job. Once you move on from living with your parents or living with whoever you was providing for you, you choose to go out on your own, get that apartment, find that house, pay that mortgage, then you really tie down. It just makes it a little bit harder to reach financial freedom, because all you need is money then to invest that money. But all of the traps and pitfalls are the rents, the car notes, the clothes, the this, the that, the spending your money doing this, watching this, subscribing to this. It all just kind of cuts down on your wealth building when you could have just been staying with your parents and stacking up. And that's what the motherfucking Asian countries be doing. That's what the Asian Americans and the Arab Americans, Indian Americans, they have especially the Jewish people, they have a much higher rate of the kids staying indoors as opposed to white and black families that the kids are just ready to get out on their own and do their own thing and pay their own money and get their own job and just be independent. That shit is good for the ego, but bad for your financial success. Now, then we get to that split of personal success and financial success. Of course, your financial success is the absolute pathway of save more, make more, cut your expenses, and invest more. So it's just about the more money that you have, the more financially good you are, the more closer you can be to financial freedom, which is just having enough money at the end of the month to pay all your bills and then not work for an extended period of time. Retirement is being able to have that shit until you die. Unless unforeseen circumstances or something chaotic happen in the market, then your investments ain't paying for your monthly life no more, blah, blah, blah. But that's the difference. Retirement is like long-term financial freedom, and what we call financial freedom is just short-term financial freedom. But if you ain't retired, if you still gotta work and you still in the rat race, you still doing the thing, but that's that. So personal success is what you can look at personal success as how good are you without money? How successful are you? How happy are you? How good are you in dating? How good is your life? How good is everything in your life without having money? And that's, again, I'm talking to men and women, but it's a difference with all of this shit. But just know that, like, for women, it's a lot easier to have personal success with no money. For men, it's going to be a little bit of an obstacle for you to have personal success and just have success in your interactions, your socializing, your emotional intelligence, your dating life, your attractiveness, your social media. All of that shit is going to be a little bit harder, but really, it's all about how you feel mentally, but that shit can still be hard to feel good when you don't have a lot of money to spend, when you ain't being able to take your girl out on a date the way you want to, when you ain't able to travel and go here the way you want to, when you gotta fucking only have money to pay your bills and pay your car note. Yeah, it can feel a little bit harder to mentally be feeling good, to mentally be happy, but you can still do it. I guarantee and promise you this. Then it just makes it that much sweeter when you get just a little bit more money. Then you get more money. Then you get more money. Then you get more people fucking with you. Then you get more like and love and happiness. Then you get more, everything just starts to blossom and flow. But if you can stay happy when you broke, oh, nigga, you winning. If you can be lazy and not feel bad and feel guilty, nigga, you winning. So that's the very last thing I want to touch on in this video. The differences between men and women when it comes to finances. Women, y'all have the opportunity to attract money. Y'all have the opportunity to attract somebody that's willing to send you money, pay for you to live wherever, house you. That's just the fucking life of a woman. Be careful, because the shit only lasts about 35 years. And then the older you get, then there's a lot of shit. So that's that. Men, y'all must earn money. You must work hard. Now just know, it's a super hierarchy of money. That's the main thing we all need to also realize. The Queen of England, billions of dollars, trillions of dollars actually, $20 trillion net worth. Funds the whole police system and military and all of the control system. And you got the Rothschilds, you got the banking system, JP Morgan, you got all of this shit going on. So it's trillions of dollars going on. Then you got us all down here wanting the millions. Just wanting a little bit of the slice of the pie. So that's that. Then you got Elon Musk, of course. You got Jeff Bezos. You got Peter Thiel, Sam Altman, fucking Zuckerberg. You got all of these billionaires in America, tech oligarchs, the people that's really controlling the world, really influencing and making shit happen. Donald Trump, politicians, presidents, the whole scheme and hierarchy of money. So that's that. So you really got to figure out where you kind of want to cap yourself, or at least what's going to be a good amount of money for you to be making per year. And then you can kind of be satisfied, kind of just chill. Because once you understand that huge hierarchy is there, and it's so much work and time and commitment that has to be put in, so much focus to get to those millions and hundreds of millions and billions, and then so much deception and just fitting in and playing a role and controlling your emotions, just sealing and putting a mask over your true life and just really playing the game to such an intricate level. Because you can get up to the billionaires, politicians. Like, we really all have a chance. Especially if you under 30, if you ain't did no crazy shit, if you already ain't made a super mark for yourself on the internet or in life in no case or scenario, then you really can still become a politician, become a tech oligarch, become some super famous social media person that's playing a role, and then you get into politics and entertainment. We all got the chance. Like, that is true facts. Want that shit to be known, because all they doing is wearing a mask, controlling their emotions, and just staying just super in line and doing what people like and expect. They able to attract and influence and just play the game of dark psychology and manipulation all the way to their top, to becoming billionaires, secret societies, bloodlines, oaths, all through college and Harvard and all of this shit, fraternities, sororities, whatever you want to do. I don't give a fuck. Just do it and be good and be powerful and be strong in your game of life. At the very least, be a good person. At the very least, be peaceful. At the very least, spread some love and joy and inspiration. Goddamn, that's all I ask. But I don't even ask, because empathy is a goddamn choice. Compassion is a choice. Whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, who gives a fuck? It's your life, it's your game. You the one that got to sleep with yourself at night. You the one that got to have your dreams and nightmares and figure out why you did what you did and what you regret and what you don't want to do and what you want to do and why you want to do it and why you stop doing it and why you need to keep doing it and why you... That's you and your game and your reality. So, yeah, women, y'all have the opportunity to attract money. Just make yourself pleasant. Make yourself good to be around. Don't even focus so much on making and earning money. Of course, you want to have a car too. So then you may have to pay bills yourself. Goddamn, it's a lot of shit. It's just a lot of shit. So find you a job that's comfortable, cool. Keep yourself protected. Keep yourself strong. Work out, but make yourself pleasant to be around, because it's a good chance that your monthly expenses as a woman really don't ever have to go over $1,000. And you can actually very much maintain that, because somebody is going to be willing to house you and have you live with them. A man or another woman, because life is really that easy for women under the age of 40, under the age of 45. I got love for everybody. But goddamn, I know life get treacherous and wicked. The different age you are, the different demographic you are, and yeah, it is what it is. White men, y'all got it bad too modern day, because of all of the social engineering of how they now is turning the whole races in the world against white people. I was gonna make a video about why everybody hates white people, but it is because y'all the most violent. So that's just the cause and effect, let's be real. But let's get back on track. Men, y'all earn the money, y'all work hard, and just make sure y'all outworking women, because you're not going to be outworking the athletes. You're not going to be outworking the people that's entrepreneuring their way up to millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, unless you choosing to do it. But make sure y'all outworking the women. And then when I say outworking, should have said this earlier, but a lot of it is more so your mentality, your mindset, and your thoughts. Make sure you outworking and having those positive, productive, strong thoughts. And also make sure you in the gym, getting physically right, being physically capable, being ready to jump and run. Or you don't even gotta be in the gym. Just make sure you're doing it in your home, at your job, working out, push-ups, sit-ups, all of that shit. You must be outworking women. And women, y'all must be outworking other women, because that's your competition. So that's that. I love y'all. Stay godlike.